In brief, SBDI is an informatics infrastructure for biodiversity and ecosystems research. It rests on 3 pillars. It's data, convenient and unified access to open biodiversity data. It's tools for sharing, searching, downloading, visualizing, and analyzing these data. And finally, it's support for users interested in sharing data or using our tools and services to analyze data or visualize data. SBDI includes the Swedish node of GBIF, the Global Biodiversity Information Facility, as Maria mentioned. Sweden has one of the most active GBIF nodes and contributes more biodiversity data records per capita than any other country, although it's a tight race. The technical platform of SBDI is called Living Atlases. It's developed collaboratively in an international open source community. Main development in Australia, but SBDI and others make important contributions to the development. And there are many unique SBDI assets that you will not find in national biodiversity hubs in other countries. Just a couple of examples. We have cutting-edge molecular biodiversity data tools. We're helping to push the frontier in that field internationally. And we have data from some of the longest-running biodiversity monitoring programs in the world. The demand for our services increases rapidly. Here you can see in green the number of records shared through GBIF, and we're now approaching 2 billion data records. And in blue, you see the number of publications using these data through GBIF, and we're now approaching about 2,000 publications per year, or 1,000 publications per 6 months. 10 billion Swedish data records are downloaded through GBIF every month. That's an average record is downloaded 3 times per day. And in 2018, we tried to estimate the value of our national biodiversity services, and then our conclusion was that it represents around 2.6 million kronor in total savings per day compared to manual data retrieval. Of course, a lot of these analyses would not have been possible without these types of services. Another sign of the importance of this infrastructure and the development, the strong development of this field, is the program called Datadriven Life Sciences. It's a national program funded by the Knut and Alice Wallenberg Foundation. It was launched earlier this year, and the plan is to spend 3.1 billion Swedish kronor over 12 years. A large portion of the program is dedicated to 39 recruitment packages. They're substantially funded with additional postdoc and PhD student positions, and they're in 4 research areas. One of those is biodiversity and evolution, and there will be 7 of those recruitment packages in Sweden over a period of 6 years. 260 PhD students and 210 postdocs will be funded through the program, and there's also funding for supporting databases and infrastructure. SBDI is the final step in the merging of many different smaller biodiversity informatics infrastructures in Sweden. And the next but final step, there were 2 Biodiversity Atlas Sweden, including GBIF and the Swedish LifeWatch infrastructure. Now we're all in the SBDI infrastructure. The SBDI consortium includes 11 universities and government agencies, and of course the Swedish Research Council provides a substantial amount of the funding. Host organization is the Swedish Museum of Natural History, where we are today. The SBDI governance model is similar to what you would expect from other research infrastructures. We have a stakeholder assembly representing all of the partners in the consortium, typically at the deputy vice chancellor level, so at the highest level within the organizations. And they take long-term budget decisions, among other things. Then we have an independent steering committee responsible for strategic decisions. they have an advisory scientific committee. Daily operations are overseen by an executive office together with a coordination group representing all of the partner organizations. There's also a technical group and, very importantly, a support service center interacting with the users of the infrastructure. There are 5 modules within the infrastructure. You can see how they interact with each other on the left, and to the right you can see how much we spend in terms of resources on each one of these modules. So it's management, it's communication, outreach and user support, it's data mobilization and technical infrastructure, it's analysis tools, and finally it's networking activities. And of course, a lot of what we do actually is national or international collaboration. So in a sense, networking is everything, or almost everything we do. It's one of the larger national research infrastructures in Sweden. The total budget, including co-funding, is 88 million kronor for the current 4-year period. That's the short summary of or overview of the infrastructure. And I will be available for questions later during the questions and answers session, together with the Deputy Director of SBDI, Holger Detke, whom you will meet then.
Well, thank you very much, Fredrik. Well, I have a question.
Okay.
Is really all Swedish biodiversity data available in SBDI?
Well, the short answer is yes. There is a few exceptions, a few important data sets that we are aware of. In many of those cases, we are working currently with the data owners to make that data available through the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. But if you see data sets that we really should be sharing through the infrastructure, let us know and we'll work with the data owners and see if we can't include them as well.
I know there are many people interested in Artportalen. Is that also included?
Yes, all of the open information in Artportalen is available through all of the SBDI platform tools and services. We're working currently with a host of Artportalen, so Artdatabanken, with on the automated syncing service, and we're aiming for a weekly update of the Artportalen data to start with at least, and we can increase that frequency if it's something that's prioritized by our users.